Yo, what's up, Irish? I'm setting up to do a mandala. I do have a Patreon follow along coming tomorrow. I have a Pixel Pokeball. So I'll be releasing that one some point tomorrow. I'm going to kind of just run through all the motions and talk about like what I'm doing here. If anyone has any questions along the way, let me know. I'm going to give it a few moments here to kind of let people know about the live so that way they can come join if they want. Just my phone camera. Yeah, it's good to have you, man. It's good to have you, William. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of begin the process here. Since this is a live stream, people can kind of come back and watch this later on should they choose to do so. So for this video here, for this tattoo, I'm probably either going to be using the Inkclaw. This is going to be More Money Tattoo Machine with the cartridge grip, or I'm probably going to be using the OG Produce. I don't know off the top the name of this one, but I've been using this one a lot lately. I'm going to go with one of these two, and if I need one of the other, in case I need one runs out of battery, I'm going to use one or the other. You get the idea with that. So I'm going to use one of those machines. This is going to be the design that I'm working with. I'm going to do this stencil right here. Now, I'm not necessarily going to go over like all the technical aspects on how I'm going to tattoo this, as I do have a Patreon where you can follow along with me in a step-by-step manner. What I'm going to do is more so kind of tattoo this here and just share and show you all the process. So I'm going to begin by cutting out the stencil as you see here, so that I can place it down cleanly. I'm going to be using Trueskin fake skin for this tattoo as well. I typically never get too fancy with my cut. However, I had to get real precise there because the other stencil kind of ran into that stencil there. But typically I never really cut that close. I just typically cut a general outline like you see there. Okay, so I got the Mass Archer and Full Pro. Hey, that's awesome. You can barely hear me. No, the mic is on my chest here. Can't be too sure. Should be able to hear me okay. I'll bring it a little bit closer to me. How about now? Is that better? Yeah, I apologize. I'm set up with a mic and it's like right under my chin, so it should be okay. Okay, so I have my stencil cut out. What I'm going to do now is place it down on some fake skin. The needles, okay, awesome. The needles that I'm going to be using are these right here. I'm going to be using an Inkclaw, probably the 45 round shader for these heavier line weights right here, and I'm going to be using an OG Produce 3-round liner for the smaller line weights. I think that's going to be the best way to go about it, and that's how I'm going to execute this tattoo right here. This is going to be Trueskin fake skin. I have in-depth reviews on the gear that you see here in this video, so if you head over to my YouTube channel, type in Trueskin or Inkclaw needles, then you'll see the reviews pop up. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm talking normal. I think like if I talk a bit louder, I'd technically be raising my voice. Yeah, I'm talking normal, so I can't be too sure. I apologize for that. Yes, cheap needles can create wobbles and lines. Even hanging out your needle too far can also create wobbles and lines. Okay, so from here, I'm going to use Speed Stick to apply this stencil to the fake skin. I typically use green card, but I don't have any available right now. So I'm going to just stick with Speed Stick as I had that laying around. And I'm going to kind of find out a place where I want to place this mandala. So I'm probably just going to place it right here in the middle. You're welcome. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. I'll do my best to assist there. So from here, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to place a generous amount of Speed Stick here on my fake skin. I just want to confirm that I do not use Speed Stick for any sort of human skin tattoos. I don't even use the green card for any sort of human skin tattoos. I simply use the Speed Stick and green card for fake skin only. So as you can see, I'm applying a generous layer. It's probably more than I need, but I want to make sure that I have enough. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wipe back and forth. Remove a little bit of excess, not too much, not too little. Kind of dab up as well to remove the excess applicant. The reason why I'm removing the excess applicant is because I don't want it to blur or bleed or anything like that. So I want to make sure I have just the right amount. I bought your lining book, Volume 2. It's been a lot of help. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate your support, Vinny. Thank you. I'm grateful that's actually helping you. I appreciate that. You letting me know that it's helping you. It's very motivating to keep going with that. So thank you for your support. I appreciate you. It's really good to hear that it's helping you out. If you ever have any questions at all, feel free to let me know. So I'm going to place the stencil down like right around there. Hopefully I don't mess it up because it is 110% possible. And then I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure throughout the entire design. I don't want to apply too much nor too little. Hey, what's up, RX? I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for joining my live stream. Yeah, I just started going live. I haven't been going live too much, but I figured I'd start going live more and kind of sharing the process with you all here. If you have any questions, please let me know. Now, I'm not sure if I'm getting blurring or if it's just on the stencil, but the idea is to make sure that I press down everywhere so the details all transfer over and I don't have like any empty areas. So I'm going to remove one side and remove it slowly. Okay, so I feel like I got a good stencil placement there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place down a Scotch shop wipe and apply a little bit of pressure to remove any sort of excess stencil that may be there right now. And then you can kind of repeat that as needed. I'm going to do that again right here, applying a little bit of pressure. There we go. I do that so that way it doesn't bleed any further and I remove any sort of, yeah, exactly. It'll start blotching and then it'll start smearing and spreading. And the line weight integrities also kind of lose over the dry time. So I don't want to leave it dry for too long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my secret weapon. And again, this is something that I only use on fake skin. I don't use this on human skin. Bear with me, I'm plugging it in. I use a heat gun. So I'm going to use this to dry the stencil so we can dry it in a timely manner. If not, then I'd have to wait a long time and or lose the stencil altogether while I'm tattooing it. I feel like also drawing it with a heat gun helps to keep the integrity of the design. I remember when I first started, I would leave the design overnight for 24 hours, and when I would come back, the design was completely blurred out. The lines were much heavier than I originally had planned, and it was kind of all warped. If it's a really detailed design, then you're not going to be able to see what you're doing. So all I'm doing now here is drawing it. I'm making sure that the heat is drawing every part of the design, so that way I don't have any blurring or anything like that. Stencil loss, smearing, you get the idea. If anyone has any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment. I'll do my best to assist you. Yeah, I agree. I wish I would have known about it sooner. I think we're just about done here. I think that's good right there. Don't want to heat it up too much. I appreciate those who are watching. I appreciate those who are following. I appreciate those who are showing support. Thank you very much. Hey, I appreciate the comment. Thank you. Okay, here we go. I finally figured out the setting to have my comments come back up. All right, I'm learning. Okay, so let me come back over here. Hi, I'm Ninja Tattooing, and your channel has been super helpful. Yeah, you're welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing support. Thank you for watching my videos. If you ever have any questions, please just let me know. Drop a comment below. Tracing, any tips for me? Tracing, see how to remove extra stencil after tattooing. I actually, one of my page, I'll go ahead and answer questions in order as they come here. To remove a stencil after we're done applying it, we can use bleach. One of my Patreons let me know a tip that we can kind of put either a bleach napkin over or drop the fake skin and bleach overnight, and it'll remove any unwanted stencil after we're done tattooing it. And tracing tips, it just depends on how you go about it. There's really many ways to go about tracing. I would just recommend trying to be as accurate as you can when you trace. Focus on line weights as well. I think that's super important. It really just depends on like what you're doing. I have various workbooks that also allow you to kind of like trace as if you're applying stencils and tattooing. So it just depends. Are you going to be tracing on iPad, paper? That also matters. Okay, so moving front here, I think that I'm going to start with the OG Produce. Actually, no, let's go with this Inkclaw More Money Tattoo Machine with the Inkclaw grip. And then I'm going to be using an Inkclaw 45 round shader. Actually, I'm going to do one last minute change. I'm actually just going to switch to the OG Produce. Since I have it wrapped and I have a 4-stroke on it, I feel like that's a good way to go. I really don't feel like either or is wrong. Forgive me for that. When you're done. When you do a line, I want to use. Whenever I'm, like, let's say if I'm tattooing with it and I want to switch to another needle, I'll typically drop it into a cup that has like witch hazel, so that way I can reuse it again, and that way the needle stays wet and not dries out. I'm not sure if that was your question. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin tattooing this design. And again, for those who are watching, I do have a Patreon where we do step-by-step follow-along. So if you're interested in a sort of step-by-step follow-along approach, then you may want to check out my Patreon. So from here, I'm going to begin to apply this area right here. I'm going to fill out the line, fill out the machine. I may make mistakes. However, I never really focus on them. I try to just keep it going and resolve or figure out different ways to resolve mistakes should they keep arising. So if I make them, I don't really get too focused and fixated on them. And again, if anyone has any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment. I'll do my best to answer you. This needle is going to be a 45 round shader. This is a 45 round shader needle. Located in Texas. Yo, what's up, Leprechaun? How are you? Thank you for joining. Voltage I'm using is 7 volts even. A blow dryer is actually good to use. Do you know if a blow dryer takes longer from what you saw right now, or is it about the same time? The vibrations of the machine is moving your camera. Oh, I apologize. I do have like a sort of kind of like an unstable rack, so to speak. I'm not sure if I'd actually be able to stabilize that, unfortunately. I apologize about that. On the future streams, I will go ahead and kind of focus on that more. But for now, I'll try to not do that as best I can. It's just the way that my rack is set up. Yeah, of course. If it's like unwatchable, let me know, and then I can try to make an adjustment right now, live, real time. But I don't want to take too much time doing that. So I'm going to kind of adjust here. There we go. I feel like it's pretty accurate to the lines that are there. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you. That's something that I'm definitely going to consider in the future lives. You feel, how do I know when the needle is deep enough? You feel for like, you feel for like a certain bog, and then you have to like match your hand speed to your voltage. You'll feel like a specific vibration. Yeah, it has a sound, exactly, Leprechaun. It makes like a specific sound, which is the bog of the machine meeting the skin. Mr. Clean, I appreciate you. Okay, thanks, Irish. I appreciate that. It's good to know, yeah, because I need to know that. If it's not, that way I can kind of adjust it. It's not always easy. You may see me make some mistakes here, which I probably am going to. I'm not by any means perfect or the best tattoo artist at all. So mistakes are definitely possible. some of these deposits have shifts right here, as you can see. So from here it's thinner and then it goes to a heavier line weight. So from here I'm going to kind of double up and then come to this outer edge right here. Like that, just to capture the shifting line weight integrity there. And I'll kind of do that all the way around as needed. The machine I'm using is Inkclaw More Money Tattoo Machine along with the Inkclaw grip. That's the one I'm using tonight. When I'm done with the videos here, I'll leave descriptions in my YouTube live video so that we can check it out. I also have in-depth reviews on this. Yeah, I love Trueskin as well. It's a great fade. I love Trueskin and Real Skin. I haven't tried any others as of now, but I'm going to. Excellent choice. Yeah, I love this machine. I love all of Inkclaw's machines actually. So I'm not sure if you can see right there how the line under it is a bit bolder than the 45 round shader. That's why I'm doubling up. Hey Leprechaun, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. Uh, Loric, I'm not sure if I'm saying Leoric, Leo. I'm gonna say Leo. Leo, is that the brand name of the fake skin? I'm not sure if I'm understanding that correctly. Right now, I am on the, I think about, yeah, about the 5. I'm at a 4 point, maybe 8 stroke setting. Any advice on someone putting their portfolio together? I would say just do as best you can, be as dynamic as you can. Uh, do styles that you have comfortably down, like that you're comfortable doing. And then I would say just do your best, really. And that's really it for me. Like building up a portfolio was something that I had more fun doing than worrying about, it getting me somewhere. So I would say just do good tattoos and take good pictures of them, and over the time your portfolio will start building itself. Even if the tattoos are on fake skin, you would still want to either have the fake skin or take pictures of them to still add those to your portfolio. I would say just have fun with it and build, keep building it. The brand of fake skin that I'm using is Trueskin Fake Skin. Stencil paper I believe it was going to be Spirit stencil paper. I can't confirm as of yet, but if I remember correctly, I believe it was going to be Spirit stencil paper. And what is GRL? Forgive me, I don't know what that is. Let me check out YouTube comments here. The name is Skins. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I haven't heard that, but I'm going to. I haven't heard of that brand. Oh, how did it come out? Did it hurt? Excuse me. make sure I go back for ink here. That's a long line. I feel like I've been here forever. Thank you, I appreciate that, Skylar. I meant liquid gel for stencil. I use gel. Oh, okay. For this one, I use speed stick, just simple speed stick, which looks like this. I typically use green card, but I want to use a sort of speed stick like or green card, which is also another stencil applicant. Uh, I would want to use that sort of, stick where it's this and not a sort of powder. But I use this speed stick to apply this tattoo right now in a heat gun to dry it. If your stencil's rubbing off, then you may want to use a heat gun. I use the heat gun so that way it immediately dries and I don't have to worry about losing. This stencil's only been down for like maybe 15 minutes now. Stencil stuff's good. I appreciate that. I like using stencil prep on human skin. Yeah, I love it. It's an awesome machine. I have a full in-depth review on it on my YouTube channel. It's called Inkclaw More Money Tattoo Machine in case you want to check it out. Okay, do you dry it? Do you let it dry? Do you use some sort of, do you use any sort of like heat gun or anything to dry your stencil? Life with, thank you, Leo. I appreciate that. I'm very nervous tattooing with you all live because I mean, if I make a mistake, you all are gonna see it here, and that's kind of embarrassing sometimes. But I kind of just learned to work through it. It happens all the time, so it's definitely something that's normal for me. I'm not by any means perfect. Get the stencil prep to work on. Yeah, I don't use stencil prep on fake skins, Irish. I use stencil prep only for human skin. Yes. Okay, so you may want to use a heat gun, and yes, I do have affiliate links on my YouTube channel to various products. Is there something specific that you're looking for? Hey, that's awesome, Dream. I'm happy for you. If I ever see you there live, I'll join. Yeah, I'm going live now. It's definitely different. And if I did mess up, I'll kind of just look at some possibilities as to why I may have messed up and kind of just continue. I try not to stay focused on it too much. Yeah, I understand how practice can be. It can be really easy to get unmotivated, especially when progress is slow. I remember I originally made my YouTube channel and I didn't think anything of it, and I didn't post for like the first 7 to like maybe 9 months because I was adamant that I wanted to have some sort of understanding before I posted my work online. And I'm glad that I, took that approach and I was really patient. So it took me around that long to kind of get the concept and understand lining. Yeah, you can actually submit images to my email if you want, and I can actually critique them on my YouTube channel. I do have a Patreon where you can get feedback as needed and you can ask unlimited questions. It's at patreon.com/Daniel Yuck. There's also an assortment of follow alongs, free stencils, and feedback. You have access to a tattoo community as well if that's something that you're interested in. But you can also submit images for tattooing critiques to info@danielyuck.com. Yeah, stencil printer is definitely the way to go. I can't sit there and trace for a long time. It beats my hand up before I even started. Is there a right and wrong angle to hold your tattoo pen? Yes, there definitely is. I tried, but I can't. So for me, for example, I'm using a shader, so I want all 45 needles to hit at one time to capture the line weight integrity. I don't want to angle it this way and have just one side of the needle. I want the entire needle to be captured. So I angle my needle in terms of capturing line weight integrity. Let me go ahead and create some lines here. And as I move the entire way, I want to make sure that my needle integrity is remaining the same and the whole line weight is being captured. That's very, very important. Make sure that I'm on frame here. For those questions that I'm missing, I apologize. Please bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and create this longer line, so I'm probably going to be here for about 2 days. So bear with me here. There we go. Ooh, there was a lot of room to go wrong on that one. I'm glad that I got that one good. Right here, I'm going to kind of capture the integrity of the line weight underneath, like so. Perfect. I'll do the same thing over there on that one in a bit. Yeah, I'm actually going to be doing a 3-round liner here in a moment with these smaller lines. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. Hey, Iris, thank you for showing support on the Patreon. I appreciate you. This is going to be a 45 round shader. Hey, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that. Thank you, Leprechaun. That means a lot. I appreciate the gifts. Those who are sending super thanks and gifts, I appreciate you. I'm sorry if I missed them up front. Truly appreciate the gifts. Thank you. I'm gonna kind of circle back over here. And capture this integrity and lock that in. For those who are dropping questions or comments, I'll go ahead and get to those here in just a moment. 2 days, $600 for internship. I'm not sure. Doesn't really seem fair. It really just depends, if you found value in it. I'm not here to knock any artist. It just depends if you found, that valuable. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep going here. Not in person either. Yeah, it's definitely not worth it. Yeah, thank you, Leprechaun. I appreciate that. Not in person. That's crazy. That's absurd. Yeah, you can definitely send me a pic of your rose, either like Instagram, Messenger, email, whatever's best for you. All right, thanks, Kay. I appreciate the follow. I appreciate the support. Send the images on down. Thank you very much for even joining. I appreciate your time. Anyone else who wants to submit any images, please go ahead and do so at info@danielyuck.com. I also have a Patreon where you can submit images for unlimited feedback. You can ask unlimited questions. You can go ahead and follow along with me on various follow-alongs. Let me go ahead and create this line right here. Same thing. I kind of swayed right here. One last time. It's very rare that I'll triple up, but I will if I have to. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I'm the same way. Yeah, of course, Leprechaun. For those, if I miss any comments, I'll go ahead and circle back here in a moment. Hey, that's awesome. What are you doing in Procreate? Right here you can see that I'm angling my machine now because I am trying to intentionally just capture one side of the round shader. Perfect. I love the way this is coming out. I'm using a 45 round shader. Yeah, of course, absolutely. When I get off here, I'll go ahead and take a look at that and I'll give you feedback either tonight or tomorrow or sometime in that time frame. We'll just say within a few days, but I'll definitely get back to you. I want to make sure I'm on frame here. And sorry for the frame bouncing all over the place. I'll be real careful right here. I'm using an Inkclaw More Money tattoo machine with an Inkclaw grip. Hey, thank you, Leprechaun. I appreciate it. Realism line. Oh, that's awesome. I have to check out the stencil when you're done. What's good? What's the best size needles to use when shading line? What's up, Monarch? It's good to have you. Thanks for joining. It really depends. I don't really feel like there's a best size needle. It's just more what's applicable for the application at hand. The biggest needle I've ever worked with depends. Like, for example, I've used 111 round shader. I've used 123 round mag. Those are probably some of the biggest, if not the biggest, I've used. So if your voltage is, let's say, 7 and 8, and you move a little bit slower, what would happen with the lines? Speed change. Um, that's a good question. I would anticipate maybe any sort of I would anticipate inconsistency. So like let's say if I'm moving slower and then I speed up, it's probably going to lead to like a lighter line in that area or something to that extent. That's what I can see. But I guess long story short, definitely inconsistencies. You may be able to get away with speeding up and slowing down in minor increments, but in drastic increments, it's definitely going to be noticeable. Because like when we move, we have to remain at a consistent pace, as you see me doing here, in order for us to get any sort of clean, solid, consistent, saturated results. If I speed up right now, then it's going to appear to leave like a faded line, streaky line. As you can see, I kind of wobbled a little bit right there, and it does happen. I think that that was close enough to the end to where it's going to kind of blend in. Yeah, so when you're tattooing, you'll want to find a steady tempo. I tend to still also want to speed up as well. And it's just a constant practice to remain at a consistent tempo as best as you can. That was probably one of the roughest leaves I've applied right now, but it still came out nice and clean. It's reading well. Have set your mods yet? No, I haven't. I haven't yet. I'll definitely Leprechaun make you a mod on YouTube. I have a mod, William, that I want to make a mod as well. I'll be looking into that and make you all mods. Those who are constantly participating and showing support and stuff, then I'll go ahead and make them mods. I just feel like I have to like trust people before I make them a mod. I'm streaming live on TikTok right now and YouTube, for those who are wondering. But yeah, I do find myself constantly wanting to speed up. Today I got my Intense Black Label tattoo ink. So tomorrow I'll be doing some tattoos on myself. I'm excited to try out the Black Label to see how it is. Oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to be creating the mods to help me out here because I'm missing comments. And it happens every live stream, and it's not on purpose. It's just as I'm tattooing, the comments come in. I'm gonna have to get a new wipe here. This one's done. For those who are watching, I appreciate you. For those who may have sent any gifts or super things, I appreciate it that I may not have seen. If you've dropped a comment and I haven't seen it, I apologize. I will be getting to you here in a moment. For those who are just simply watching, I appreciate your time. Thank you. I notice that most of the time when I create like wobbles or having consistent lines, it's probably because I was uncomfortable or not fully ready to commit to that line. Like the direction that I was creating the line in was probably off or something to this extent. Okay. Someone had said that a little while ago. I think Leprechaun had told that, mentioned that it was shaking. I apologize about that. Okay, so it's going to take me about another 2 days to finish this line again right here. And this is going to be the last long line that I have to create. Wish me luck. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm using an Inkclaw 45 round shader. I apologize. It's not my intent to give you a motion sickness. I'll definitely consider that my next stream. It's just the way my setup here is. I apologize. Okay, so I'm going to go for the long line now. Here we go. I felt like I was really close to a needle snag there. This is an Inkclaw 45 round shader. Would you move your hand? Yes, if the needle had fewer needles, I would definitely move faster. I'm going to switch to a 3-round liner here in a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the difference. I do like the textured Trueskin fake skin. I think it's awesome. I love lining with round shaders like this. I prefer to line with round shaders more than I do round liners sometimes. Hey, Project Monarch, that's awesome. Are you excited for the shading practice? I have a tattooing workbook that's actually specialized to help aid in shading development as well. It's available on my Amazon author page. If you go to Amazon.com, type in Daniel Yuck, you'll see an assortment of different tattooing workbooks there. I have some designed for lining, some designed to help aid with developing shading, textures, wildlife, a lot of different variables that we use within tattooing. I have a book for it, and I do have more that I'm coming out with this month. Again, you would go to Amazon.com, type in Daniel Yuck, and then you'll see an assortment of various tattooing workbooks that I've created. The one for shading development would be the Shading Journal Volume 1. Volume 2 and 3 are in development, and I'll have those out, I think, maybe later on this year, around December maybe. Shading is a world of its own. It's definitely requiring, it definitely requires patience, not just to learn it, but to apply shading. Yeah, I have various Procreate tutorials on my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see various Procreate tutorials. I even have a playlist on my YouTube channel dedicated to just Procreate. I want to make sure that my needle's making enough rounds to deposit the ink in a clean, consistent manner. I want my lines to be powerful looking. So I have to make sure that I'm getting those needles to hit all together and enough rounds per minute. It would be the same thing for human skin. I would just adapt to human skin and either maybe lower my voltage, move a little bit faster. You get the idea. Something would change in a minor manner just to adapt to human skin, but the same technique and approach I'm using here would be the same I would use on human skin. I'm gonna have this last line do right here. After this last line, I'll go ahead and check the comments before I switch to the next needle. Okay, so if I'm correct, all of the heavy line weights are done. Hey, F you. I appreciate the kind feedback. I appreciate your time and watching my videos. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Bear with me here. Let's see. My voltage is 7 even right now. Yeah, it actually does change. Sometimes I'll run like at 6, 6.5. It really just depends on what I'm doing, what it is I'm tattooing. I'm using a 45 round shader from Inkclaw. That's what I used for all of these heavier lines here that you see. Let me go to the YouTube comments real quick. When using a macro shader, do you use the same unit? No, that's actually a bit different. Oh, I get you. I used to be the exact same way. Okay, so I'm going to switch on over to fewer needles here. For the fewer needles, I'm going to switch over to an OG Produce 3-round liner. And I'm going to go ahead and line all of these little details with a 3-round liner. With the 45 round shader, I lined at 7 volts the entire way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my voltage down to about 5.5 volts. I'm going to start at 5.5 volts and then go from there. Yeah, of course, Leprechaun. Typically when I go live on TikTok, I go live on YouTube at the same time. All right, so here we go. I'm using a 3-round liner now. I dropped my voltage down to 5.5 volts. With the 3-round liner, we want to be really careful and precise because all of our mistakes are going to show up. So every wobble we make, all of that's really going to stand out like a sore thumb. Any tips for straighter lines? Actually, I have a lot of videos on lines and for straight lines on my YouTube channel. You may want to head on over to my YouTube channel at Daniel Yuck on YouTube. And then go to my video section, type in lines, and then you'll see an assortment of various videos. And then some, as you can see, I kind of went off track there, and it happens. So not fully right, but I'm going to have to live with that mistake. It was actually supposed to be a little bit more this way, like that. Can't go back now. So moving front, I'm just going to be more mindful and then kind of prioritize my posture and my position here. I think that's probably the worst mistake I've made yet. And that's okay. I'm going to just keep it going. I may end up making more. Just got to remember, the smaller the needle, the more mistakes are going to show up. Oh, how do you like your journey so far? Um, yeah, it's actually really cool to tattoo. I like this texture, so I could feel it a lot with a 3 round liner. It's not really about depth when it comes to shading. It's more about layers. So if with shading, don't think in terms of depth. Think in terms of layering up shades. Oh, one of my lights died here. Okay. I'm basically adjusting myself here. It's a bit nerve-wracking using a 3 round liner live with you all here. For those who are leaving comments, bear with me. I will come back here in a moment and get to the comments. Sorry for the silence. Hey, thank you, Leprechaun. I appreciate you. Appreciate you keeping people updated for me. That means a lot, man. Thank you. When I pull a line, I get bigger pulls of ink. I think that for that, you could be when you're dipping your needle, you probably are dipping like the whole plastic. I just dip my actual, just the actual metal needle tip into the ink cap and let the needle tip pull it up. Oh wow, really? So I wonder if it was just a 45 round shader that was shaking the screen. That's crazy. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. That's crazy that the 45 round shader though was shaking the screen. We're actually going through these lines pretty quickly. We're almost done here. I don't think I wobble too bad at all. I also like to point, excuse me, I also like to put ointment down so that way it also helps to prevent pulling. It's a bit different if you don't put ointment down before you create a line, then the ink tends to be much more messier. Have you color packed a mandala yet? Yeah, actually I have. I have them on my Patreon. I have. It was like a teal red, like traditional style mandala. I think this is the last line right there. If I'm correct, that's all of the lining for this design here. That was 77 minutes, maybe a little bit less because I was doing a lot of talking as well. That's actually cool. That's actually a cool concept, kind of like maybe follow-alongs or just like tips and tricks, side by side, just tattooing. That's actually a cool concept. I never thought about that leprechaun until now. That's something that I definitely would try and do, yeah, in the near future. Yeah, best voltage for lining would depend on what you're doing, and your technique, the machine you're using also plays a role. Yeah, of course, Mr. Clean. He said, I am ready now. So this is where we're at right here. So I have a choice to make. I can either call this one a session, or what I can do is add some dot work. Now the dot work is probably going to take about another maybe hour or so. So I have a choice to make. I can either conclude this live here, or I can go on and add some dot work here and, kind of get as far as we can get. Exactly, yeah, I think some stippling as well as some dot work would look good. For everyone who's watching, I appreciate that. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate everyone who's watching. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding the dot work and the shading here. So from here, I'm just going to build up the dots and shading to my liking and then kind of just proceed. I think that's how I'm going to go about the middle right there. Sorry for that I'm so quiet here. I'm kind of zoned out applying the dot work and thinking about my choices here. Oh, forgive me there if the if the live stream paused. It came up the low battery mode, so I had to press that there. Hey, that's awesome, Mr. Clean. I'm grateful that I'm able to help you. That means a lot to me. That's cool. No, it doesn't sound cheesy at all. I like hearing stuff like that. It's awesome for me. Sometimes, I'm feeling down about things, so hearing that makes me feel good. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's definitely not cheesy. I'm grateful that I'm able to help you on a better direction. If anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to ask. I'll do my best to assist you here when I check the comment section. I feel like that's coming out nice and starting to read nicely. For those that have any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. All right. I think it said that it ended because my low battery message on my phone came out, and I didn't realize that until moments later. So I think that's what that was. Oh, I get you. Tomorrow I'll be tattooing myself. Maybe like on your leg area. Maybe that somewhere where you can like access comfortably. That's how I look at it. Whenever I tattoo myself, I always try to just tattoo myself in spots that are comfortable for me. Excuse me there. Make sure I'm still on frame. Right now I'm using a 3-round liner. Appreciate you, Leprechaun. If the chat ends, it's probably because my phone died. I'm sorry, if the live stream ends, it's probably because my phone died. I will still be on YouTube though. I think though that going live with other people who want to show their tattoos and their skills is gonna be something that I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do that on my next one of my next live streams. I like that idea, Leprechaun. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. Uh-oh. Alright, there we go. Yo, what's up, Jay? I've been tattooing for about, I think about maybe 3.5 years, give or take, somewhere around there. Oh, dang. I apologize that I am quiet. Now, the device that's streaming my TikTok live is going to die. So, for those who are on my TikTok stream and you still want to participate, I am going to be live on YouTube and get as far as I can get with this design here. So, if you want to finish out the live stream with me, you can head on over to my YouTube channel. Same name, Daniel Yuck. a good resource for finding stencils to print. I have a bunch of various stencils on my website at danielyuck.com. You may want to check that out. For those who are on my live stream on TikTok, my device is about to die that's streaming the TikTok stream. If you still want to be a part of the stream, head on over to my YouTube channel where I will be completing this stream there. Yo, Leprechaun. Thanks for joining. My device just went out right now. I'm glad that I said that. Yeah, I really like that idea of going live with other people. That's actually a really cool live. I'm going to be doing that. I feel like this tattoo is kind of going by fairly fast. I'm not sure how long I've been tattooing it, but it can't be more than 2 hours yet. Or it could be, I don't know. It says here that we've been streaming for about 102. Yeah, I'll definitely make an announcement. I think how I'm gonna go about doing that is like, for example, maybe like where I do like live follow-alongs, and then I have a stencil where everyone downloads before, and then we do this follow-along together. And at the end, those who want to go live and share their follow-along, like the results they got, that'll be like one of the ways, you know. Or if people are like struggling with like technical application, they can go live and I can help them. Make sure I'm on frame here. All right, and then I just gotta do some whip motions like this. A few layers, and then I have one more to do, and I feel like it's a wrap. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily gonna apply like some apply heavy shading on the leaves. I may just do, apply a very thin layer or nothing at all. We're gonna have to see how it reads here once these other areas are done. And let's do this last area right here. Just smoothing that out there. Sorry for not responding to comments and for being a bit quiet as I apply this tattoo here. And then from here, I'm just gonna kind of like finalize everything. I have to still tune up this area right here. I feel like this area needs to go a little bit more saturated. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up here and see what we have. I feel like it's a few more areas can go a little darker. All right. I'm using dynamic black tattooing ink. Yeah, I actually have a full in-depth review on my YouTube channel about the 45 round shader and other Inkclaw needles. In case you want to check them out before you buy them, you can just go to my video section, type in type in Inkclaw tattoo needles, and then you'll see some videos pop up where I review the needles. No, I feel like I have some choices to make. Do I want to add a little bit of shading? Do I want to leave it the way that it is right here? I don't really feel like there is a wrong way to go. I do feel like it reads cleanly like this. I do feel like shading could possibly make it flat depending on where it's added. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with a less is more approach for this shading here. And I'm going to shade just a little bit right here. Just a slight shade, not too prominent, not too weak either. There's just a couple of layers of shading like that coming up from down here. Just like that. Not too much, not too little. So I think just a little shade like that all the way around would probably be ideal. Less is going to be more. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I use dynamic black for practicing on fake skin. I've used dynamic gray wash on human skin. I use Intense for human skin. And the last one. And it's a wrap. I want to thank everyone for joining me on this live stream here. Thank you to those who stuck around. Thank you to those who participated. Thank you for those who sent me gifts and super thanks. I appreciate you. Yeah, Mark, project is right. 45 round shader for the main outline and 3 round liner for all the details. And this is pretty much it. From here, I have one last choice. Do I want to be real picky, add some more tones anywhere? That's basically where I'm at. I got to make all of these last choices here. Other than that, I do feel like I'm done here. I'm just gonna kind of give this area one more tone like that. So just a quick rundown of the gear that I'm using. I'm using Dynamic Blad Tattooing ink. I'm tattooing on Trueskin Fake Skin. I'm using an Inkclaw More Money tattoo machine. I use Spirit Stencil paper with the HPRT thermal printer. What else here? I use a heat gun to dry my stencil. I also use a speed stick to apply it. 45 round shader for the main outlines, 3 round liner for these other details. Thank you, I appreciate that. No, like an actual heat gun. It's like an actual heat gun, not a blow dryer. On this live stream, when I'm done, you'll be able to see the entire process on how I made this happen from beginning to end. For those who are curious and want to see this, if you're joining late and you didn't get to see this and you want to, the live stream will be uploaded and you'll be able to see every single decision I made and why. One more and I'm officially, I know I said I'm done quite a few times, but this last one and I am officially done here. There we go. Okay, let me get a generous amount of ointment and clean up this fake skin with you all here. Let's face it this way right here. Excuse me. And this would be almost the ending of this live stream. Hey Leprechaun, once again, man, I appreciate you and all the efforts. I appreciate your super thanks and your gifts. I appreciate you answering everything that you answered for all the people that were asking questions. Thank you for your company, Leprechaun. I appreciate you, man. Have a good night. And to who sent me that super thanks, thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't see who sent that to me, but I appreciate you. Mr. Clean, I see that. Thank you, Mr. Clean. I appreciate the super thanks. It means a lot. I'm always grateful when people show me support, whether it's a super thanks, a comment. It really does mean everything to me. So here is my fake skin. Almost all cleaned up. This is going to be the final tattoo. So if this were on a client, this is what the client would have walked away with. If anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to ask before I conclude this stream here. This is what we have. This is the final result right here. Let me bring it up close so that way you all can see. This is what it looks like. These are the final results. You can see all of my A points and B points are connected. Hopefully you can see this close up and get a good view of it. That's funny. Yeah, I appreciate you all. Thank you all for joining. This is the final result. This is the outcome of this mandala tattoo right here. We've been going for 1 hour and 20 minutes now. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. BL, thank you very much. Here is a super close up for those who are curious, and hopefully you can see it. Hopefully it's not like blurry or pixelated. Now, once again, I'm truly grateful for the support. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for joining. Thank you all for keeping me company through this follow along. I hope that you were able to take something from this. I hope that I was able to provide you with entertainment here and some sort of value. Yes, this fake skin even has textures you can see. I've done an in-depth review on this fake skin. It's available on my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube channel, type in Trueskin fake skin, you will see an in-depth review on this. Hey, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Uh, Before I go, I see people project answering here. So for those who are asking, I did use a 45 round shader from Inkclaw for these heavier line weights. I use a 3 round liner for everything else from the dot work, shading, and these little lines are all done with a 3 round liner. Thank you all for subscribing. I appreciate those who are just joining and subscribing. Thank you very much. It does mean a lot. I will be going live more, so be sure to stick around. 7 volts, I think 7.5 actually, 7.5 if I remember correctly. You will be able to watch this whole live stream, Mark, once I'm done here and I upload it. The live stream will be available for you to watch, so you can literally watch everything on this live stream step by step. It was all recorded from beginning to end, even from where I cut out the stencil, placed it down, from beginning to end. Now, I do hope that this video can provide value for you all. I do hope that, I can entertain you in some fashion. I do hope that I can provide you with some sort of education. I appreciate those who send me over super thanks. I appreciate those who spent their time with me and those who subscribe. Thank you for also hitting the like. I greatly appreciate you. Now, I'm going to go ahead and conclude the video. That'll be it for this one. If you have any questions or comments after the video goes live and uploads, you can go ahead and drop a comment on this video. I'll do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. Before I go, if you are interested in following along and tattooing with me, I do have a Patreon where I do offer step-by-step 4K follow-alongs that aren't available on my YouTube. I do offer one-on-one guidance, so if you have questions, you can ask unlimited questions and get support that's tailored to your wants and needs as the artist. I have free tattoo stencils as well as a tattoo community group chat. So there are various perks for signing up with my Patreon. That'll be Patreon at danieluck.com. I'm sorry, Patreon at Daniel Yuck, forgive me, patreon.com/Daniel Yuck. It's been a long time right here. So that'll be it for this one. Once again, thank you for joining my live stream. I appreciate you. You have a great night.